So I have here a magic themed cookbook. It was a commission of mine. A friend had approached me, his daughter, I believe she's 12. She's a big Harry Potter magical fan, and she also loves to bake and to cook. So I created, so there is an animated magical dragon eye in there. And this is supposed to be the Deathly Hallows symbol, which does normally run straight over. I realize that this looks a little like an Illuminati symbol. It is not meant to be. It's meant to be the Deathly Hallows. So this is a faux leather photo journal that just happened to kind of be perfect and have a nice cutout. In here it said family. I actually cut it out. I filled this in originally with gold leaf. The problem was the gold leaf on the faux leather that I put on the inside. The glue just didn't mesh well. In fact, it's kind of hard to see on the video. Let me zoom a little, let you get a better view of that. So it didn't spread the way I want it to. It didn't look the way I thought gold leaf should look. So then what I did is I did a resin pour on top of this using a gold resin. It didn't come out exactly the way I was hoping, and as you see, it bled over a little bit. Inside here is red. I'm just going to turn this off to save the battery. So the electronics behind there are all just this. So I have a 1.44 inch TFT display, and that's all connected to an Adafruit Itsy Bitsy. This is an Itsy Bitsy M4. The Itsy Bitsy M0 will work just as well. So this is what's on the inside. The only addition is I also have a LiPo battery. I have the Adafruit backpack, the battery backpack, and I have an on-off switch. This is actually the same guts that I use in my Mad Eye Moody Magical Eye, which this is a casing for. And I have a video for that as well. So then we go to the inside. So in here, I'm actually going to get rid of this page just because it's got all the excess glue, and it actually kind of looks really bad. But in here, so this was black pages to put pictures on, and now I've replaced it with white pages. And originally I was going to do a custom binding and put it all in here, but I realized this is a cookbook. So by having it in the plastic sheets, you can get flour, you can get anything on this thing, and it can easily wipe off. So it keeps things nicer. So even though it kind of loses a little bit of its mystique, it adds a lot in actual usability value. So then we get to the inside cover. So the inside cover, this is a solid piece of mahogany. It is roughly 12 by 12 by 1 1/4 inches. Now I took this, I routed out. Now I just used my drill press, so I set my drill press height and kind of went there. If you have a hand router, you could have hand routed this. I then filled this in with resin. Let's see if I can get better lighting on there. So I filled this in with red resin. I was hoping to make the resin a little darker, and I didn't quite have the sander that I was hoping for to really sand and grind it down and get it lower. So you can see how it reflects a little bit, and that's where the resin ran over. I then just took a wood oil, so I didn't, I could have stained this, but it's mahogany, it's beautiful. So I just put stain on there. Now, then we have the vials. So this is for spices. And I had a little bit of a challenge. One is I need this to be flush, because if it's not flush, then it can't close well. It's going to leave imprints on the page. It's just going to be bad. So I needed a way for it to stay in and not be raised. And then I also needed it to be easy. So I had these little leather straps that I was going to do, but then they would have to wind, and everything ended up becoming difficult. So what I did is I super glued a magnet to the bottom, and I super glued a magnet in there. So now they just magically stick in. Now, because I experimented and was doing this, so I had a little problem in that the glue, as you can see, let's get it nice and. So this is crazy glue. This was Gorilla Glue. So this was Gorilla Super Glue. So because I had gotten it on my fingers and everything else, it made this white kind of look to it. Now, because this is a magical cookbook, I actually think it adds character and charm. It gives some texture. It gives some, I don't know. I think I like the way it looks. makes it look older. But they snap in, which is really cool. So you put, you can put whatever spice you want in here and close. It's not necessarily watertight. You would want something else, but if all you need is a magnet, and you could put your own thing in here. So I left this open. The person who is receiving this is an artist herself, so I figured she could design whatever she wanted, and this, make this her logo, and all of that. So, and as I said, I have the pages. So to add to this as well, so I must admit, I didn't make these. I just actually found these on Amazon nonetheless. So I wanted to get something like this on Etsy. So these are measuring spoons. They're measuring spoons in leaves, and they actually have little grapes with resin on the top. So this is just a beautiful little piece. I looked on Etsy and actually couldn't find things half as nice and anywhere near the price. So these things were perfect. So just if you're looking for, to add along with the magicals. I had some leftover resin when I was working with that, so I created a red pendant. Red is apparently, deep red is her favorite color. Need to buff a little bit of this out. But I made a red pendant and just put it on a leather strap. And there's a few other things that I'd be working on as part of this. So I have the potion bottles. In fact, let's see, I've got one around here somewhere. So I've got my potion bottles. So my potion bottles, if you swirl them around, they do that, and I put a light underneath it and a frame. So I'll be working on a potion bottle for her as well. And there's a few other things, but this is shipping out tomorrow. So I wanted to get a video of it so that I can get it online and I could show people, just because I'm really proud of how it came out. So one thing is, with the photo frame, with the photo book, I had to take the pages out and extend it so that it would actually close. So if you can see here, so this binding has a little bit extra here, and that extra can just fold over and give it some extra protection. So it just kind of gives it some girth. So what I did was, that is now here, so I had to drill holes in here, and then this part is here, and that makes that thickness. It ended up being about perfect size. And I think, it's got some weight to it, but what I did on the insert part, so in the thickness in here, pretty much from here up is all hollow in the back, and the electronics all run in there. And then there I have the on-off switch, and then the USB access to recharge, as well as program if you wish to change the programming within. So that's the book. I hope you liked and enjoyed. You can check out my other videos for how I programmed and how I got that working. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Thanks.